Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tulu Hoyane. I want to begin this week by looking at the security threat that came to light in the Pretoria High Court last week. And like all other police investigations, this one is proving elusive. Why am I saying it is proving elusive? It's proving elusive because typical of police investigations, once the police have announced that, a case has been opened about a case or concerning a case a case has been opened, or a conspiracy to murder case has been opened, that will be probably the end of it. And all that you'll hear is, police investigations are ongoing and it would not be in the interests of that investigation to divulge any other details. So most of the time whenever an incident that needs to be investigated, dealt with, this is the standard response that we always get from the police, that, divulging any further information would sort of jeopardize the investigations. So on and on these investigations will go, sometimes endlessly. Sometimes they just fizzle out into nothing. Nothing ever comes out of them. But then let me come back to the Senzo MEYIWA trial and say, we heard of this security threat. First it was Baloyi. It was Baloyi, perhaps, and his junior, and to a certain extent the court. These are very serious allegations. If those accused persons sitting in there are conspiring together with their legal representatives to harm Baloyi, Dr. Zibanda, his junior, and the judge himself, that is very, very serious. It becomes even more serious if it involves, the defense counsel themselves. So we are told that the police have been undertaking a thorough investigation over time. And yet when they came to court, they just escorted those people outside the court and no arrests were made. Those people were later questioned and released. We are also told that there were others who were allegedly tipped off by members of the defense team who disappeared from the Pretoria High Court, so that by the time the police got to the Pretoria High Court, these people had been tipped off the coming of the police and they simply just vanished. But look at those who were whisked out of that courtroom. We don't know who they are. The number is 2 or 3. We are not even too sure about the number. So they were taken away by the police after this so-called thorough investigation into this matter. But up to now, nobody has been arrested because, like I said earlier, even those people who were taken away from court were just simply questioned and released. So what is this thorough investigation leading to? How long has this investigation been underway? These are the questions that we want to answer. And what sort of information is in the hands of the police? Because the police are saying they have got solid information. Solid information. They've got the full information. That is how Advocate Mnisi put it. But now the question that you ask yourself is, if this investigation has been ongoing for all this time, and the police have this solid information about this crime, which they've been investigating, I don't know for how long, maybe for months, why are they then not effecting arrests? Because the police, what is the police investigation intended to achieve, if not to achieve the alleged perpetrator? So one would have expected that at least by now, somebody would have been arrested. Now, these investigators are also faceless. Nobody knows where they are coming from. We just have that vague statement that a crime of conspiracy to murder is under investigation. But that is all that we have. But let me come to the defense counsels themselves. The defense counsels are allegedly implicated here in that they have been working together with accused persons to murder these court officials. I mean, that's a serious allegation. And I don't think it is an allegation that can easily be made by anyone without having the necessary, evidence of something like that. Now, if Mnisi, Ramusipili, and Ngumalo are sitting in that courtroom, according to this narrative, and they are conspiring together with their, with their clients, the accused, to murder Baloyi and his junior, and perhaps the judge himself. And this investigation has been ongoing for a long time and has identified them as being complicit. And underline that word. And this investigation has revealed their complicity in this plot to kill court officials. Why are they not getting arrested? Why are they not getting arrested? Now, if you move away from that a little bit and concentrate on what Munisi also told the court last week, to the effect that, he has been informed by yet an unknown investigator that is probably under focus or being closely watched by these people, because he's in the habit of saying things which are none of his business, then that sort of sets out Nisi as a prime target of this investigation. That is why Nisi told the court that he's not in a position to continue with the trial, like we saw his absence on the last day of the sitting of the court last week, until this matter is resolved. Because these are serious allegations being bandied about here. So one wonders, what is going on? What is going on here? If there's a threat against the life of a judge, if there's a threat against the prosecution, those are very serious allegations. But my take is, in the absence of any arrest coming up, because, these people have got solid evidence. What are we to make about this elusive, security threat and alleged involvement in people, excuse me, into a crime to kill court officials? After Mnisi was not there on the last day of the sitting of the court, none of these, issues even featured. They just did not feature. It was as if that security threat has simply just vanished. Now, I'm trying to follow up this elusive, and it is very elusive. I want to find out where that matter leads up to, because if it is found to be true, it can have very serious consequences for this trial. And if it is also found to be untrue, and all indications are, it is doubtful whether there is such a plot. Because in the absence of any arrests, how then do we, can we really, with any sense of confidence, say that there is such, a threat? But I'll be keeping a close tab on developments, and, the court has adjourned to the 19th of January and will be digressing to other issues, because now the Senzo MEYIWA is not sitting. But there are many other topical issues going around around South Africa, the killing of, witness D in the Madanga Commission, so the focus will shift somewhat, but we'll still come back to the Senzo MEYIWA trial, because at this point in time, this is our core focus point, or where we are really looking. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video. Let me thank you for all the views, subscriptions, likes, and shares that I'm seeing. And have a wonderful, wonderful start to the week. Thank you.